Good afternoon. This is our second attempt to host a Google Hangout. Um, we actually had a just regular Hangout with two of our participants, but could not record it. Um, Sometimes technology, as wonderful as it is, does not hopefully tighten down because there's nothing interactive with just me talking with you. I may actually ask you to pause at certain points just to feel free to stop and look. And honestly, the benefit of watching this at home or wherever you are at work, you can stop, look through the website, see things, and then definitely just shoot me an email if there's anything that you need that you want to focus on. The rest, you can see what I'm talking about and not actually have to look at me. And that way, hopefully, it'll help us navigate through everything. So we are going to start with our, this is our lead mentor meeting. I'm actually going to delete this Hangout. This is the new lead mentor meeting agenda, and this will also be on the website as well. What I normally do anytime I do a meeting, we always have an inclusion activity, and the role of an inclusion activity is to get everyone talking, get everyone grounded, thinking about what we're going to talk about today. So this is something that I would invite you to do when you're having your meeting with, and more importantly, make sure that everyone else listens. So when we do something like this, normally one person has the floor, there's no crosstalk, and then at the end, things like what are some reasons for us, I would have done what are some reasons you think you're the lead mentor. A lot of it has to do this morning with the fact that I volunteered and want to because it's important to me. And then also something you want to make sure you learn from today so that way we can tailor the conversation or the training when we do that. So that's a brief overview. So instead of experiencing it, you can imagine it. This has a point. It connects us together and then also make sure it focuses us on what we want to learn today. First thing I'm going to do is click on some of these links. The first one is the teacher support website. This is the tiny URL, so you can always get to it and ask them. It looks like this. Whenever you see the hot air balloons, you start us off. When you get to it at home, so let's do this. The website is divided into two sections. The first one at the top in blue are all of your basically mentor resources. These are the ones that as a lead mentor you'll primarily will use. Everything in red is primarily what this website is designed to basically have everything in it that you need. Any questions I'm asked, I'll try to add to it just to take care of things. The lead mentor resources is simply a folder that houses lots of different documents. This is the beginning teacher support plan, which is our main overview. It's updated once a year, so I will update it shortly. So that way you can see who else has joined you as far as a lead mentor. So if you have a friend at another school, you can look at it. This is the framework for all the teacher talks we do. So each month you can look and see, hey, we need to be proactive and get our teachers, beginning teachers, thinking about something. But we'll go over all these things. So there's lots of information. Just want to show you. Number two, specifically within the mentor resources. The other thing I always make sure everyone knows is there's a link directly to the monthly mentor log. So this is what, if you've been a mentor before, you've done this log. I call it a communication log more than anything because the key point of this is to communicate to you, the lead mentor, and to the district team that some lead mentors have chosen to use this form. Most use it just right as a Google form. Some I've had a couple lead mentors that print it out for certain people because honestly the technology is not something a mentor wants to deal with. Or sometimes they're frustrated because they can't type into it every time they have a meeting. So sometimes they just print it out. The form is collected. What matters is that the support is happening and that you're being communicated with, so you have a way to pay attention to it. We do have here, this is sort of an important thing that's right here in bold, minimum of 4 meetings for BT 1s and 2s, and then we wean back for 3s, but we make sure that BT 3s who are proficient have at least 2 meetings a month. One of those meetings should be a more formal one where I sit down for maybe 20 minutes or so after school during a planning. But some of those meetings can be informal. Some of those meetings can be just checking up on the beginning teacher. How's everything going? Some of it could be proactive. Hey, guess what? I'm planning my parent conference schedule. Would you like to come in and plan with me? So it doesn't have to be a sit down, let me spend 45 minutes, have a planning period every single time. So that sometimes eases the tensions of the buddy mentors. But the trick is make sure that we have the documentation that the support is happening. The other thing to talk about, this one is numbers of items discussed from the monthly checklist. This is from the mentor training itself. So some of these are things that we do throughout the year, as far as talking about lesson planning. Some of the things at the beginning of the year, some are things at the end. So for example, down here at the end, procedures for planning field trips towards the 3rd marking period or whenever your school takes them. You can just look through them. End of year checklist is something as well that you can do. What this does is gives the mentor something to make sure if I don't know what to talk about, go through this list and find something to talk about, because it's designed during the mentor training to help you for that. The other thing is this question here, comments or concerns for the mentor, the school lead mentor, or the beginning teacher support coordinator. These are the questions. If I was going to have a mentor, buddy mentor, if you need to get my attention, this is the place to do it. If you say something like, Mr. Jones and I continue to work on clarifying his classroom management strategies, that's teacherese that says he's struggling and we're working hard to fix it. Maybe you might need to stop by and see something. It also, as the lead mentor, gives you an idea of what your beginning teachers are struggling on or with. And so that way we know whether it's your teacher talk you have at the school level, maybe it's an informal meeting, whatever it is, you're able to provide the support formatively and us not wait until March when the person no longer has a job. So that's one I think that is key. If you could look and point that out to your buddy mentors for sure. The next thing is the lead mentor review, and this is just a real quick notice. I will send this out normally on the 25th or before the 25th, because the mentor log is due the 25th of the buddy mentor log we just went over. That's due the 25th. So this is simply a way for you as a lead mentor to summarize everything. So here's some key things. One is, how many BTs do you have? How many logs were submitted? All that is a way for you to formally check and say, have all of my beginning teachers had a meeting and been communicated with and supported? As long as the answer is yes, then we're good. Down here, the reasons why all logs were not submitted. The trick is I don't need a list of mentors who didn't meet with their people. Sometimes it's maternity leave and I didn't realize the mentor had left. So then we know, hey, let's get someone to fill in until the mentor gets back and life is good. Maybe the mentor forgot. Hey, did the support happen? The mentor forgot, but they met 3 times and everything's good. Those are all the simple things we need. Nothing to get anyone in trouble with, just communication. If you're able to have a beginning teacher talk that month, and then what the topic is going to be important. PDPs, we start with just the initial PDPs, just to remind everyone, And here's the biggest thing I look at. What is the biggest need of support for your beginning teachers? Um, Three things have been up there just to tell you. One is classroom management, one is diversity and differentiation, and the other is feeling completely overwhelmed. They take different language and different things, but over the last 2.5 years, we've noticed that. I use this formatively to go and lobby and support. What kind of training do we need? So this form is very, very important in us as a district team and you being a key part of it and making sure we're communicating and able to provide the support in real time. So you will get this once a month. I will tell you the first time is in September because August and September are combined. And you will notice there's some other ones that are combined as well. So, all right. Let's see. Yep, still good to go. All right. Um, and with resources we've already been over. The other thing that we're going to talk about here is the Google Drive. This is one of the key things that our KBT teachers work on. We also, there are lots of people that work on it, but this is simply a Google Drive. For example, we get into classroom management, and this contains lots of resources with lots of different topics. So there's some whole brain teaching things that Amber put in last year. There's some behavior charts that have been put in. These are videos. So if you want videos of teachers to look at, the teacher channel videos. This is the new procedure template for the classroom management book that every new teacher will get a copy of. So bottom line is there are lots of resources in this Google Drive. And so you can click on it and use it. You can also add it directly to your drive, so that way you don't have to use the website. It's right there in your Google Drive as well. You can make a copy of anything and then edit it to make it your own. That's a pretty useful thing. I also ask my lead mentors that if there's anything that you find that's really good, or maybe an instructional coach has shown you, you can email it to me or get with the KBT member at your school, because after the first meeting we have with them, that KBT will be able to add information to the Google Drive. But the whole point is we just want to make sure that we have really good stuff. So it's like a teachers pay teachers, but everything's free because it's all Pitt County folks. So we'll do that. Definitely pause now. Normally what we do is look through these things, get familiar with it. You can go back and review it, but this is a good time just to take a look and see if there's anything up in here that might be useful for you. All right. These are, now we're getting into the actual beginning teacher orientation. I do want to show you, this is a link. If you have any beginning teacher who goes through human resources, a BT1, this is the link of the flow chart of where they need to be for all first year hires. So the first thing is coming up August 9th, which is tomorrow. They have Reading 3D training for any new K3 teachers who need to do Reading 3D. Lisa Tate is in charge of that. So if you have questions about who needs to go, you can definitely talk to her. Honestly, your principal should know who needs to go to that. But that's one where they do not have to sign up. If they go to EVA-COC and tell them they're a first year teacher, they will be able to access that training. Our main training is a 3-day training at Rose High. And so we're meeting at Rose High all 3 days. Lunch is provided all 3 days. We have a really good lunch provided, and we'll have breakfast provided on day 3. So this is all at Rose High. We also have here, this is the new employee orientation. This is for all first year employees, whether you're a 25-year veteran from Wake or brand new first year custodian. All new employees go to this, and this is another mandatory one, again, at Rose High, and this is put on by the Human Resources Department. The other thing on the back of this page, if you have a beginning teacher who wants to know, do I need to come to this? This flow chart is designed to help them figure that out if they need to attend or not. If your answer is not answered, if your question is not answered by the flow chart, then definitely email Seth Brown and I can help you with that. This is the detailed agenda. We're still tweaking some final rooms, but you will notice here what you'll see is we have a column for K2, one for 3-5, one for 6-8, one for 9-12, and then we have some things separate for pre-K and some things where they're combined with different grade spans, so that way they know where to go and what to see. So you'll notice here there's four main topics, or two main topics in the morning and two in the afternoon, plus another session for everyone. So it's 21st century skills, for example, and then parent communication, and then classroom management part 1, which is a 1-hour session, and then the professional teaching standards for the evaluation. And then in the afternoon, we'll have our resource Google Drive that I just showed you, so that way they'll have an idea of everything there. Each different column or each different tab at the bottom is a different day, so that way this is the actual schedule that your beginning teachers will see. You notice here this is Wednesday, which is the main day we're going to talk about in just a moment. They'll have an open house session first thing in the morning, then the KBT collaboration. So these are the effective, creative, and innovative beginning teachers that were identified in May. In June, they're going to be with us sharing some information. We'll have a really good lunch, and that's where we need either your KBT or another teacher from the building, another mentor, or young teacher who's really sharp and innovative. So that way there's someone successful to eat lunch with, and your principal, by the way, knows about that. And then we have the school visits from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So this is the part here that we're getting ready to talk about next. So, and the next thing is on Wednesday, August 17th. This is the session that you're going to be responsible for. And it's honestly a very flexible training. Each school is going to do this very differently. There are 3 things that we say we need to make sure that happens. I'll type this in as we go along. Main outcomes. For the beginning teachers, feel welcome, safe, and supported. And as long as those 3 things happen, you have complete flexibility on how it happens. So here's one thing that has been useful for lead mentors in the past. This is called the new teacher checklist template. So you can take this word template and you can change it to your school. Just go to File, make a copy, and then it's your own. This has K-12 things on it, so there are things that are for high school and things that are there for elementary. So please edit, paste it, take care of it. For example, there are things here that maybe the secretary does not do the copy machine. Maybe it's the media assistant, or maybe it's the bookkeeper or someone else. It doesn't matter. Just cut that out and change it. But we need to make sure our beginning teachers have a copy number, because sometimes we forget that. Sometimes, for example, we forget that, where is it? Under secretary, right here. Get on the email list of the admin team and the alert now numbers or whatever we have. Sometimes there are things that we assume but forget. Maybe the beginning teacher's on the secretary's email list, but not the principal's. So we need to make sure all those things happen. So this is a fairly comprehensive list. If there's something that you put up there that you think, hey, it really needs to be up there, then please help us out and share that information. Other thing here is you can add the EC contact, for example. You can add their name here. You can add the room here. And that way, if the EC contact is not there on Wednesday, it might be there on Thursday or maybe Friday. But they know they need to see the EC contact to get all the accommodations and IEP information for their kids. Same thing with a nurse. The nurse is not there all the time. This is the name. Here's the office. Go see the nurse. So this can be something, once it's complete, that can sort of be a scavenger hunt, and we can take care of them and work with them as well. Again, just feel free to modify this, because not every single thing up here will apply. So you can mark it off and take care of it and make it useful for you. But the bottom line is that this resource is something that, and these things we're talking about are things that you can use and be flexible with. Some other things you may consider doing, making sure that the key people are met with. This morning when we talked, the top two were two things they really wanted to make sure happened. Number one, who are the key people to meet with? And if they're not there, where are their offices? Then another one is the tour of the school, walking around. Where's the copy machine? Where are the supplies? I didn't know we had a laminator. Well, here's a laminator. I didn't know we had a die cast cut machine to cut out letters. Well, now you know, so that way they know where it is. Just to give them a heads up. There are lots of other things you can do as well. The bottom line is, as long as the VT feels welcome, safe, and supported, then you have complete flexibility in this. So if you would, take a moment and answer this question. What are some outcomes that will happen after this session that will make sure that you know that the beginning teacher is welcome, safe, and supported, and this school orientation was successful? What are some things that might happen that you know your school orientation was successful? So think about that if you would. All right. And finally, last but certainly not least, we've already talked a little bit about the monthly mentor logs. So that way, and that's been updated already. The lead mentor review, we've already gone over that as well. This link with the monthly teacher talks, that's one of those things in the mentor resources, but this provides you a way to think proactively. So it's each month we have each grade span. You notice here's K2 has different things they might need to do. So for example, K2 is going to do something with reading 3D, whereas high school, they don't need that. So proactively, what do our beginning teachers need? Here's another example. If you're looking at, for example, right here, parent conferences may happen in October. So at the beginning of October, or maybe even in September, I can move this because I need to make sure, depending on the calendar this year, that we're proactively supporting our beginning teachers. So you have complete freedom to look through this, get ideas, plan it out, take care of things as well. And the final page we'll show you is just a quick overview of who are we. So that way you have an idea who our team is. So we have Sydney Brown, Pat Clark, Pam Eustason, and Julie Tucker. Also, we have Dr. Council's picture and Dr. Linker, just in case you need that for your beginning teachers. That's up there. And then down here, we have all the lead mentors. And once it's updated, you'll also have the instructional coaches for each school. And then this is sort of our ring of support. So the beginning teachers in the middle, then they have buddy mentors, other beginning teachers, the PLC, and then the next ring is the principal, you as the school lead mentor, and the instructional coach. And then we have the key BTs on the comprehensive level. So we have key BTs in almost every school. We have different follow-ups and different meetings we'll have. And then our district monthly trainings and school monthly trainings as well. We do have specific training we're going to have for laterals on the strategic support, so targeting people we need to get. We'll have district mentor staff, and those are the ladies I just showed you. And then we do have some intense support for beginning teachers who are struggling, which is going to require either your principal or you as the lead mentor to get up with us, but we do have that available as well. So that's a useful page, and that is right up here in about your beginning support team, about your teacher support team. So I think that covers the agenda. I am going to update the Google Hangout link as soon as this thing finishes broadcasting, so that way you have it and share that with you. Please feel free to email me any questions, anything you need, and I hope you found this fairly enlightening. Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to working with you this school year. Take care.